Today, we're helping you live your life like a doctor. So, how would a doctor approach sleep? Well, let's check in with Dr. Daniel Baughn, a sleep psychologist and the co host of Sleep Takeout Podcast. Dr. Baughn, it is so great to see you.
You too, Gail. Always lovely to come and chat.
So, for years now, you've helped me with my sleep journey, and a lot of your techniques really work. And the first one is very simple.
Yeah.
Prioritize your sleep like you would prescription medication.
You totally would. And this is the part where the routine, it really does have a lot of power to it. So just like, you'd have a routine for when you get to work or, routine for how you take care of chores at home, the same thing you want to have with your sleep. So you want to try and anchor that wake up / get out of bed time. And then really you want to kind of keep your eye on that, not to go to bed before time or like a bedtime. And my kind of suggestion for a lot of people is we don't need 100% adherence, but I would say shoot for 90%. Like that's pretty good, which for most people means 6-ish, 5-ish days a week where you're following this piece. That's going to be a phenomenal piece for your sleep.
Yeah, I started following your advice with that. And really because I like to go to bed early and wake up early, my sleep routine starts, like I look at the clock. If it's 7:30, I know it's time to wind down with a shower, get some reading in, like these things that take another hour to get done. I mean, so the sleep routine, it helps a lot. And then you say optimize your sleep environment.
Yes. So this is a big one about just making sure where you sleep and how you sleep, it's comfortable. So make sure that the temperature is the right, temperature for you. Make sure the bedding feels okay. I'm a big fan of these white noise machines too. So, so many of us can get disrupted by random sounds in the night that you don't always know are going to happen. So it's sometimes helpful just to have like white noise in the background. So that way you're just kind of sleeping with that sound camouflage. And again, just making sure anything else that could disrupt your sleep, you're just trying to minimize that as best you can.
What are your thoughts on naps?
I love naps, but naps done the right way from my perspective. So from a sleep perspective, the best way to take a power nap is you want to limit it anywhere from like 10 minutes to 30 minutes, no more than 30 minutes. And then the primary reason for that is that you just want a quick little, you want to fall into stage 1, stage 2 sleep, but you do not want to hit stage 3 sleep. And that's a big one. So all of us know if you've ever had a nap that's gone a little bit longer and you might wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel groggy, or you feel kind of out of it, that's because you've hit stage 3 sleep. So we want to make sure that you just do a quick power nap, get up, get back to your day, do some things. And if you needed a second one, I would say give it a shot, but try to limit it to no more than that 30-minute nap if you can. So.
No, you're always so great with book recommendations, which I think is so cool. And you brought along the Insomnia workbook. And one of the chapters in there is how to start slowing down your mind from all those busy thoughts. Because I think what happens to people is they wake up at 2, 3 in the morning with their head spinning about all the things they've got to do the next day, or they didn't handle the day before.
Yep, you got it. And so this is where I would say there's a lot of good value to some deep therapy work as it relates to the thoughts that show up in the middle of the night. Because for a lot of us, we go through our day, we just make decisions, and then really at night is when your brain is really unpacking everything, processing it through, trying to store it and make sense of it. And so one of the chapters in this book is about how to deal with kind of that anxious energy, which is really what I like to think about thoughts, like that energy in your brain where it's just like, I'm not going to let you go to sleep. I'm going to think about something else. I'm going to think about that email you got to send or that conversation you had, 5 hours ago. And so this is the chapter in here is a really good one to kind of help you give some practical tips. The other part of it, and this is where I work with clients when we've had a lot of work and making the behavior changes, it's really this deeper stuff of saying, okay, what else is showing up for you in your rest? And for some of us, it can be things that we're just really not paying attention to in other parts of our lives.
Yeah, because you really specialize in cognitive behavioral therapy, which a lot of doctors, recommend for everything from thyroid problems, sleep problems, things to just kind of calm your brain and help you process maybe even past traumas.
Absolutely. There's a lot that our brains are kind of doing at night. And so one of the really helpful things about CBT, and specifically for insomnia, it's CBT for insomnia, is first we got to make sure you're doing the basics right of just getting good sleep. Then we start diving into the deeper stuff, which for a lot of us can be things that we're maybe avoiding thinking about. A lot of times our work schedules can be really demanding, especially I have a lot of clients that do shift work. So if you are an early riser or you're someone who is on call, overnight or over weekends, it can be a whole different experience. And so a big part of that too is recognize what are these deeper things for you.
All right. And then, of course, all the things that you say, like no caffeine, set yourself up for success.
Absolutely. So this is another thing, too, where if you have caffeine and you consume it in your diet, caffeine and light are the two big ones. You want to make sure at the end of your day, you're really downward, making them kind of go down in your life, or titrating down is the word that's coming to mind. But really no caffeine several hours before bedtime. Honestly, about 5 to 6-ish for a good number of people, maybe more depending on your sensitivity to it. The same is true for light. If you can start reducing light towards the end of the night, that's really helpful. And then the reverse of that's true in the morning. So if you need to get up, light is one of the best things that you can do.
I love
Smart
it.
lights are great for that.
Thanks so much, Dr.
You're
Baughn.
welcome. Yeah.
All right.